Alright, hello everyone. This is a quick update video about the upcoming League of Legends show that is the sequel to Arcane happening in Noxus, and it's looking more and more like, yes, it is going to be Noxus. It apparently got leaked by the same person who leaked Arcane Season 2. So there's just one article about it. It's not really important, but it sourced this leaker who was the person that spoiled the last act in Arcane. Even though they were trolling and saying they were just making everything up, no, they were correct with everything that they did leak when talking about the ending of Arcane Season 2. And just so you know that the Arcane Season 2 Act 3 release date was November 23rd, and when they uploaded the leaks for this, it was 2 days before that. So yeah, even though this guy's trolling here that everything he's talking about is a lie, is another troll, they do have some inside leak about it. Normally I wouldn't talk about leaks because it spoils stuff about theories, but I think it is important for you guys to know that the next Arcane show about Noxus might possibly get leaked, probably by this guy again. I don't condone leakers, but a lot of things, if these leaks happen to be true, are going to be changed just because we're so early in the production process. Like, things aren't even animated yet. Bro, chill out. I think it's also important for Riot Games to address these internal privacy issues because this can't keep happening. We can't keep having the Arcane leaked over and over again because that ruined a lot of the discussion around Season 2. So this is the only source we got about Season 2. This guy right here, this tweet specifically. Everything else, all the other YouTube videos, articles, they've just been referencing this one guy. So all of the information is just here. Every other thing that they talk about is speculation. So apparently the next Arcane show is called Iron and Chains in Noxus. 1 season of 10 episodes. And he does elaborate on everything he talks about. So there are a lot of people we are expecting to be in the show, primarily Swain, because Mbessa was talking about beefing with someone in Noxus, which is most likely Swain. But also, it has to do with the Black Rose. Well, I mean, Swain wasn't mentioned directly. It was just mentioned that Mbessa pissed off a man. That could also be Vladimir. We saw him in the Welcome to Noxus trailer. If you want my guess, I don't think the main character will be Mel Medarda, just because it would be way too similar with Piltover again. I would want to see Noxus develop its own main character, separate from the identity of Arcane. Maybe Mel will be a side character, or maybe a deuteragonist, but I would want the main character to be Swain. Yes, Swain is not planned to be a villain, contrary to popular belief, is what he says. Because as we know, Swain is like the leader of Noxus, but as of right now, he is not. He's probably going to have like a journey where he rises up through the ranks through manipulation, tactics, whatever, and makes the deals with the devil until he gets the ultimate position as Commander-in-Chief of Noxus. I think this plot structure would be really similar to The Penguin. If you guys have watched that, it is amazing. I would highly recommend watch The Penguin now. But if there's any singular individual that we want to focus around all of the inner workings of Noxus and his rise to power, I think Swain would be a phenomenal main character. I think I might do a deep dive into more League of Legends lore. I think that might be pretty important just to know what I'm talking about because I've been avoiding it for way too long. But on the other hand, I don't want to get spoiled. So yeah, they're also saying how LeBlanc is planned to be the villain and planned to die. So this gives more credence to the fact that these are very, very early leaks. Remember, Arcane Season 1, there was a moment where they thought that Vi was supposed to be kidnapped by Silco, not Jinx. This is so early in the writing process, I don't really consider any of these set in stone. LeBlanc is planned to die. Anyone could be planned to die, okay? This means nothing. And the last thing he says is that Jinx Easter egg drawing planned to be similar in a spin-off in Ionia. So that makes sense. We see the blimp flying over the ocean. I thought it was going to be in Bilgewater, but it makes the most sense for it to be in Ionia because Ionia, if you look at the League of Legends map, it's also across the ocean from Piltover. We were saying that Jinx was never going to be in Noxus because if she was flying towards Noxus, we would see the blimp over land, not ocean. So yeah, also, it's important to know that it's very, very likely that Bilgewater is the live action. And if Jinx showed up in Bilgewater, that would make no sense because then we would have a live action version of Jinx. And it might be weird, especially when you're dealing with the voice actress of Jinx, who is going to be super important because you can't have Jinx without Ella Purnell. But back to Noxus, it seems like the Arcane production team have learned their lessons of Season 2. There's not going to be a million characters that we're going to be focused on, which I think is good. But again, it's also 10 episodes. Arcane Season 1, it was 9 episodes. So 10 just gives a lot more breathing room. And if you dwindle down the cast to just a few, probably everyone you see in Welcome to Noxus, that being Katarina, LeBlanc is like an antagonist. She can just be in the background, similar to Silco. Not like the primary focus where you get a lot of character development, but just like a threat that you kind of pan over. And then finally, you have Darius. So I think the core 4, I would call it, Swain, Darius, Katarina, and Mel. They would be the main focus of everything that's going on, which I think is great. Season 1, you had Vi, Jinx, Jace. Was that it? I think just those 3. Those 3 were the core focuses. So with the lesser amount of characters, there's a lot more room to breathe. And I don't know why this person is saying it's a shorter, tighter story about Mel growing into Noxus, because it's 10 episodes. 10 episodes is more than we got in season 1 of Arcane. But maybe it's going to be like 20-minute episodes instead of 40, which I really doubt. We'll see. We'll just see how it goes. And then this really worries me. They're talking about mind control shenanigans. Is it just me, or do I think that sounds really bad? Like, we want actual stakes. If all of the action is just happening in the mind space, that just sounds really dumb. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Like, this is it's like time travel. It's too gimmicky. But we'll see. We'll see. I've trusted an Arcane team. It's gonna be good. Okay, they're not gonna ruin it. It's not gonna be horrendous. So there's that. Yeah, and this also makes me pretty happy. It says the prologue is entirely Swain versus LeBlanc backstory. So the prologue of season 1 was Vi and Jinx. They were the central focus of Arcane. So it seems like, yes, the central focus of the Noxus story, Iron and Chains, is going to be about Swain. I find this kind of weird that Swain wants to transform Mel to like help him fight LeBlanc, because if that's what the plotline we're gonna get, I thought Mel's whole story arc in Arcane was that she didn't need any more development. She became who she was, dead set on the goal. Obviously, there's gonna be a bit more development. You don't want characters to be stagnant, but this is like the ending of Mel Magic being a wolf. That's kind of like already where she should be, but that's okay. More development. I think it might be a bit unnecessary with her having another mentor. Like, you had that with Mbessa, and then LeBlanc and Kino and not Kino, but whatever. Maybe it'd be cool. Maybe she learns more about Noxus. I feel like it might just be more of a partnership relationship. You know, not anything super direct where Swain's like, you're gonna be Swain number 2, Mel. Your power is amazing, and you can be just like me. No. I just want them to be collaborators. That sounds a lot better. Like Victor Jace, basically. I also wonder how Mel's gonna go through knowing that Jace went to the gay dimension with Victor instead of having what he had with her, because Mel Jace was kind of thrown to the wayside in season 2. We'll see. I just want to know how that affected Mel, because it seems like she didn't care. Yeah. Also, Mordekaiser might appear, which is really, really good, because Mordekaiser is a world-ending threat. Okay? Well, I don't know. I don't know league lore. I could be spitting on my ass, but I think he's a world-ending threat. Wasn't that the whole reason why LeBlanc is doing magic shenanigans, trying to take him down? But the fact that Mordekaiser might appear, that they are not focusing the story around him, makes me really, really glad, because we want grounded stakes. None of this world-ending shenanigans. Okay, that's my opinion. Maybe some of you guys enjoyed world-ending stuff. I just think it's like, it doesn't matter. You don't need to have world-ending stakes. As long as you develop a character that people care about, if they die, that is the emotional and dramatic core of the series. You don't need to have the world ending. Just have like one character that's it. That's why season 1 was great. There's no world-ending stakes. It's just like a simple story that is grounded, that you can relate to. I can't get related to a whole city getting exploded by magic and taken over and evolved into robots. But sorry, I'm ranting here. But the fact that Mordekaiser might not appear means that they want to focus the story around the characters. Okay, not some grander Avengers Endgame BS. Okay, none of that. So that makes me really happy. And yeah, this is what we know. It's not close to completion. It's in pre-production right now. Even though I think Alex Yee said that they're aggressively investing into more Arcane resources, that doesn't mean we're just gonna get much more shit churned out. We know there's a movie and a live action upcoming. Probably going to come out before this series. I think I would give this 1 or 2 years before we actually see anything from this show come out. So yeah, we'll probably get the movie or the live action like in between then. They also said the team is much larger compared to season 2 of Arcane. I don't know if it's about the writing team, because I know they cut a lot of the writing team, Arcane season 1 from season 2, because of COVID. So I would hope that there's more people in the writing team, just so we get a more fleshed out story. But we'll have to see. I don't know why this guy's such a hater. It's like boring structures being met with a child. Obviously, if you're gonna talk about leaks, it's gonna sound boring because you're just stripping a bunch of fine, nuanced details down to simplistic points. Yes, that's just how it is. So overall, this is everything we know about the next show, Arcane, Noxus, Iron and Chains. I wonder what the theme of it will be, because from the name Iron and Chains, it really does showcases both sides of Noxus. One being strength of iron, and one being like the mind power, manipulations, that being chains. So Mel is probably more on the chain side of things, because she's all about breaking that control. That is why every single imagery we see of Mel, she's always getting wrapped up, and you know what she does? She breaks the chains, because Mel is a manipulator. She stands on top of everything. She's not one to be controlled, to be put down the set path. She does what she wants. She is a girl boss. And it's going to be a similar dynamic to Swain, who manipulates all of these pieces, who eventually dethrones the King of Noxus to rise as leader. So on that front, who is the Iron? I'm guessing that a lot of the focus will also be around Darius, but also along the people of Noxus, because we know that strength is a core foundational ideal of Noxans. And them having strength, having the will to fight, that might makes right, is what defines a lot of their identities. On that aspect, it's kind of like the mantra of progress in Piltover. Anyways, that's enough for anything for me. I am really looking forward to this. So far, if I were to describe Arcane to you, like, have you guys ever had that thing? Like, you recommend Arcane to a friend and you're just saying, watch Arcane. They're like, oh, cool, what's it about? Two sisters, they get separated. It's a steampunk city, and you just watch until episode 3. No. It's so hard to sell Arcane. So you think about that, and you think about this. This seems a lot more promising. I'm gonna have to be honest. So from even just the little tidbits we got, even though it's not spoiling too much of the actual plot details, there's a lot you can work with. If it's just a Penguin X story structure of just like this downtrodden guy who just wants power, who's a horrible human being, rises to the top. Hey, okay, I keep talking about the Penguin. It can just be like the Penguin. It's like that. It's just like that story structure. It's not overutilized in media, and it would be phenomenal. And you can also have something with Mel. Do I think LeBlanc will die? I feel like there's a good chance LeBlanc might have a fake death, and then she shows up as illusions or gets out because of her magic, but I think for some story structure, to have some resolution to the series, you want the antagonist to be gone. Victor was disappeared into the gay dimension. Silco was killed in season 1. So I think, yeah, it's possible that LeBlanc does get dusted, but it is also very possible that she gets ousted from Noxus. But just because her tendrils are in everything and she's such a big threat on her own, makes me think that she's gonna get disappeared for some time. Maybe she gets like jailed or something. I feel like that'd be very within Swain's character to just lock her up in jail and just milk her for her powers, her magic powers, and her schemes, or all of her knowledge into the occult. So yeah, that's it for me. I really hope the Bilgewater live action comes out. If it does come out, League of Legends, Riot Games, please cast me, okay? I will do a face reveal. I will show you that I would be a phenomenal fit for Arcane live action. So please. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.